Alex Answer here. Subscribe if you're new. It is June 19th, 2017. I'm going to note again it's chilling for me to read about the rise in these assaults on people, the recent beating death of the 17-year-old Muslim girl. I've talked about these issues on this channel. So subscribe if you're new. I want to get the point through. This isn't necessarily about white supremacy. It was an Hispanic male that killed her. This is about Hispanics, blacks, whites, others. You even see the Saudis, right, involved in the genocide in the Middle East. I don't have it all figured out. What I understand to be the truth is that certain ethnicities in the Middle East seem to be targeted by the world powers. There's no doubt about that. That's why you see these groups under attack and they do these immigration moves where people are displaced from war, put into another environment, and you have the propaganda arm of social media. Say that those people are invading with Sharia law. Um, the people start getting paranoid, looking around for a Muslim under every corner. Then you have non-Muslims being targeted, people of darker skin. Even Hispanics have come across this racism, right? From people on the witch hunt, people with big, thick beards. So this is not really about white supremacy. This is about these people being targeted. How can you see this even in Middle Eastern communities? You see Middle Eastern communities silent about the genocide in Afghanistan and Iraq. Why would Middle Eastern Lebanese, for example, keep their mouths shut? They feel it doesn't affect them. Is it Lebanese supremacy? Maybe on a subtle level, and it is. A lot of these Arabs and a lot of Middle Eastern people, you have a lot of racial supremacy regarding other Middle Eastern people. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, for a long time, Mexicans and blacks, and to some people, the Jews, they've been seen as the inferior class. The Middle East, they have their own way of doing things, and I'm pretty sure Afghans are at the bottom of the barrel, along with others. You see a lot of corruption from the Saudis and countries like that that are ironically the allies of the United States. So there's obviously a culling taking place. And see, to get a very large culling going on, you really need to confuse ethnicity for religion. So people start talking about like wiping out a race of Muslims. That makes no sense. But yes, there is such a thing as raping out a race of people. Islam is a religion, but to wipe out a race of people or using bioweapons or things like that, maybe things that Alex Jones used to talk about but won't now. See all these things that could happen, put people in camps, discriminate based on someone's name. Um, it's all part of that case China and Russia is going to make against the United States. And I don't mean that they're good guys. They have their own blood on their hands, the Middle East, but they're going to make it look like it's just the United States and they're standing up against extremism. As if the hands of China and Russia are clean. They're not clean, they're dirty, but they're going to make it look that way. So I want people to understand the media has played a really huge role in this. Muslims did 9/11. Muslims celebrate this. Muslims say death to America. People get hit with that. They get hit with that. They get hit with that. Oh, I've come across racist Sanders supporters. They do exist. At least on the internet, I've seen people that have pledged their support for Bernie Sanders to also go on their own rants. The fact of the matter is, when you have a generation that is a like fast food nation being pumped full of this propaganda day in and day out, and then of course you have the decades of movies which I've detailed, True Lies, Schwarzenegger, great example, 1994. Criminals in that movie pretty much appear to be ISIS, as far as I'm concerned. Talking about taking out one American city every day or whatnot, territory. Yeah, just like what ISIS is threatening now as people await the next chapter of the new American reality as we get ready to experience what's happening in Europe on some level with regards to the alleged terror attacks. And so now they're on a witch hunt for anyone that's going to question these particular events. It's become the scariest time ever to be a contrarian on the internet. And YouTube says they're going to go after terrorists. With a new algorithm, what's really going to be happening? It's quite frustrating because while they prepare for censorship, the very social media websites, YouTube, Facebook, show in their recommended section and things that pop up on the feed the most hateful things that I've actually ever seen in my life. I'm now seeing for the first time on YouTube and Facebook because they make sure through their algorithm that they're at the top of the feed, the opposite of what they're telling the people. They're telling the people they're going to be censoring and fighting extremism. They're censoring the truth while promoting extremism in the ultimate false flag to take this easy access to the internet away from us. That's why Alex Jones is trending. That's why they're introducing the whole world to Alex Jones. If they still don't know who he is, and they're going to pin it on him, and he knows the role he's playing, so they can take out free speech. So when I say the future is writing, and it's in pamphlets, it's in magazines, it's in people becoming human again and stepping back from technology and stepping back from being a robot and see things like reading and writing and being out in nature and sunshine. That's being a human. Whatever world they're creating for us is more like something out of THX 1138. Not a whole lot of like deep interaction with the sun. And so, yes, there's obviously a connection with the increase in geoengineering and whatever other programs are being amplified. I mean, I think that's an obvious thing. See, what troubles me is this hasn't bottomed out yet. This hasn't even hit the peak. This hasn't hit the post. This is like still ramping up. But my greatest suspicion is this is a process that's coming about, and these attacks on American citizens are really a lot of these amassing in the next few years. From there, there's going to be a response from the world because it's not just people being attacked, it's countries being attacked. And it's the United States being warned. And it's the American people, aspects of them, the administration acting like there are no consequences. The head of this administration, the man that I don't even need to name, is destroying America by design knowingly. This opinion isn't even expressed. On most of your typical today's conspiracy theory websites, they just don't even go there. It's just deep state, deep state, deep state, deep dish, Pizzagate nonsense. But I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to keep this video shorter than 15 minutes and cover some other things later.